Imagine a world where the old rules don't cage you anymore, where the heartbeat of business isn't just the dollar sign, the next quarterly report, or the endless race for more, but something deeper, something that pulls at the core of who we are as humans. Every day, countless founders, investors, and leaders step into a cycle that feels like a treadmill: urgency disguised as progress, profit dressed up as purpose, and comfort masquerading as freedom. It's exhausting and disheartening, isn't it? Feeling like you have to choose between doing well and doing good, as if impact and income are locked in a battle you can't win. But here's the truth. Nobody's shouting loud enough. Some of the world's most powerful billionaires are quietly rewriting the rules of the game. They're putting purpose over profit, not because it's trendy, but because they see clearly what so many ignore. These people understand that the real revolution isn't about money piling up in banks. It's about money bringing real change. Change that saves lives, changes futures, and rebuilds broken systems. It's a fiercely quiet rebellion happening right under the noses of the old guard. And if you're feeling stuck or torn by the pressures around you, this is exactly the kind of insight that can pull you out. Think about the agony faced by founders burned out from chasing endless growth targets, investors tired of the same old pitches promising returns but lacking deeper meaning, and leaders who want to move fast but feel trapped in slow, outdated systems. It's a crisis of soul within business, the kind of crisis that can crush the brightest dreams before they even get started. The old world keeps whispering that profit has to come first, that purpose is a nice-to-have, or worse, a distraction. But here's the catch. This is an illusion. The billionaires who truly get it are flipping this story on its head, funding ventures that insist on profit and purpose living together. No compromises, no pretending. What are they doing differently? First, they refuse to buy into the idea that impact comes only after the cash flow. Instead, they embed mission into the DNA of every investment, understanding that purpose-driven success brings returns that no spreadsheet can capture: loyal customers, resilient communities, and a future-proof business model. They've learned that impact scales like wildfire when supported by capital that cares, capital that chooses alignment over blind profit chasing. If you've ever felt the sharp sting of isolation, working hard in your mission-driven venture but struggling to find partners who truly understand the value of your vision, this whisper from the top will shake you awake. These billionaires don't just write checks. They build ecosystems where misaligned brilliance gets connected, where tokens of potential don't fade but ignite. They treat investment not as a transaction but as a pact, an unbreakable bond between passionate founders and committed backers who see beyond numbers. Imagine being part of that network, a place where difference isn't just accepted but celebrated, where your rare, radical ideas aren't smoothed out but sharpened and amplified. This is not just romantic talk, it's a strategic game changer. Those billionaires' money builds infrastructure for the exceptional. They fund innovation that refuses to settle for small steps or watered-down impact. Their investments create autonomy, not dependency. They back autonomy because they know the world's greatest problems: climate change, inequality, social injustice, can only be cracked by those who are sovereign in their will, critical of easy answers, and patient with the long game. It's a brutal kind of freedom that asks you to burn off old beliefs and build new realities from the ashes, but it's the only way forward. And here's the most devastating part. While systems around shout about freedom, what they really do is build new prisons. They promise equality, but reward conformity. They sell security, but kill individuality. The billionaires who quietly back purpose over profit aren't looking for easy gains. They're looking for radical transformation. They know that comfort is a trap, and that the only way to true freedom is through discomfort, through breaking the status quo, through aligning with others who burn as fiercely as you do. For founders and leaders watching this, if the weight of the old systems feels unbearable, if the idea of leading with your values feels impossible because the market doesn't seem to reward that, remember this: the future belongs to those who refuse to settle. It belongs to the few who dare not just to imagine, but to build a system where capitalism works for everyone, not just the privileged. Billionaires quietly backing purpose over profit aren't heroes wearing capes. They're the architects of a new economy. They live by a code that could become yours too if you choose to step into it. Be sovereign in your mission. Question everything. Hold on to your vision longer than others expect, and find the few who mirror your fire, because together, you will be unstoppable. Start seeing investment not just as a chase for returns, but as a lockstep with your mission, a promise to yourself and the world that your venture exists to change more than just balance sheets. This shift will change how you pitch, who you reach out to, and most importantly, how you lead. Investors who believe in you because you stand for something bigger will become partners, co-creators, even guardians of your vision. It's a revolution not televised, not shouted on billboards, but whispered in boardrooms and startup hubs carved out by courage. It's about rewriting capitalism from lazy greed to urgent care. When you realize this, your mission stops being your burden and starts being your magnet, pulling in resources, relationships, and respect that used to feel out of reach. So, the question isn't why these billionaires quietly back purpose over profit. It's why haven't you found the right fire to join? The network to belong to? The team to fight alongside? Because make no mistake, the world is hungry for founders, investors, and leaders who won't take no for an answer, who won't dim their light to fit a system that's too small for their dreams, who burn with a fire that can't be silenced by comfort or compliance. You don't have to wait for permission to live this way. The first step is choosing to stop playing by the old rules. Stop convincing yourself that compromise is the only way. Instead, look at billionaires quietly rewriting the game. They are showing the playbook for those willing to take risks on values, who see money as a tool, not a master. They prove one thing: purpose fuels profit in ways that last, that build empires beyond money, empires of meaning, legacy, and real-world transformation. If you dare to follow, it's time to be ruthless in your freedom. Ruthless in your clarity. Ruthless in your patience. Be the founder, investor, or leader who burns brighter, connects deeper, and builds smarter. Because this isn't about following the herd. It's about leading the charge towards something that's never been done before, something fierce, rare, and necessary. The world is waiting for those who refuse to be quiet, the ones who align power with passion and purpose with profit. These billionaires aren't just betting on companies, they're backing the future. And that future is yours if you're ready to claim it.